title is Dhruva Maharaj Leaves Home for the Forest. अथापि मे अविनीतस्य ख्यात्रं घोरम् उपयुषः सुरुच्या दुर्वाच बाणैः नाभिन्ने सरेते हृदये अथापि मे अविनीतस्य ख्यात्रं घोरम् उपयुषः सुरुच्या दुर्वाच बाणैः नाभिन्ने श्रयते हृदि. Word by word meaning. Atha api, therefore, me, my, abinitasya, not very submissive, khyatram, the spirit of a Kshatriya, Ghoram, intolerant, Upayushaha, achieved, Suruchaha, of Queen Suruchi, Durvachaha, harsh word, Banaihi, by the arrows, Na, not, Bhinne, being pierced, Srayate, remain in, Hridi, the heart. My dear Lord, I am very impudent for not accepting your instructions, but this is not my fault. It is due to my having been born in a Kshatriya family. My stepmother Suruchi has pierced my heart with her harsh words. Therefore, your valuable instruction does not stand in my heart. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. It is said that the heart or mind is just like an earthen pot. Once broken, it cannot be repaired by any means. Dhruva Maharaj gave this example to Narada Muni. He said that his heart, having been pierced by the arrows of his stepmother's harsh words, felt so broken that nothing seemed valuable but his desire to counteract her insult. His stepmother had said that because he was born from the womb of Suniti, a neglected queen of Maharaj Uttanapada, Dhruva Maharaj was not fit to sit either on the throne or on his father's lap. In other words, according to his stepmother, he could not be declared king. Dhruva Maharaj's determination, therefore, was to become king of a planet exalted even beyond that possessed by Lord Brahma, the greatest of all the demigods. Dhruva Maharaj indirectly informed the great sage Narada that there are four kinds of human spirit: the Brahminical spirit, the Kshatriya spirit, the Vaishya spirit, and the Sudra spirit. The spirit of one caste is not applicable to the members of another. The philosophical spirit enunciated by Narada Muni might have been suitable for a Brahman spirit, but it was not suitable for a Kshatriya. Dhruva frankly admitted that he was lacking in Brahminical humility and was therefore unable to accept the philosophy of Narada Muni. The statement of Dhruva Maharaj means that unless a child is trained according to his tendency, there is no possibility of his developing his particular spirit. It was the duty of the spiritual master or teacher to observe the psychological movement of a particular boy and thus train him in a particular occupational duty. Dhruva Maharaj, having already been trained in the Kshatriya spirit, would not accept the Brahminical philosophy. In America, we have practical experience of this incompatibility of the Brahminical and Kshatriya temperaments. The American boys who have simply been trained as Sudras are not at all fit to the fight in battle. Therefore, when they are called to join the military, they refuse because they do not have Kshatriya spirit. This is a cause of great dissatisfaction in society. That the boys do not have Kshatriya spirit does not mean that they are trained in Brahminical qualities. They are trained as Sudras, and thus in frustration, they are becoming hippies. However, as soon as they entered the Krishna conscious movement being started in America, they are trained to meet the Brahminical qualifications, even though they have fallen to the lowest condition as Sudras. In other words, since the Krishna conscious movement is open for everyone, people in general can attain the Brahminical qualification. This is the greatest need at the present moment. For now, there are actually no Brahmanas or Kshatriyas, but only some Vaishyas, and for the most part Sudras. The classification of society into Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras is very scientific. In the human social body, the Brahmanas are considered the head, the Kshatriyas are the arms, the Vaishyas are the belly, and the Sudras are the legs. At the present moment, the body has legs and a belly, but there are no arms or head, and therefore society is topsy-turvy. It is necessary to re-establish the Brahminical qualifications in order to raise the fallen human society to the highest standard of spiritual consciousness. Let's offer the Vaishnava prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakkhurumritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sabishakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhuvaya पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवशादि गौर भक्तवृंद नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्रभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. These days we are discussing the dialogues between Narada Muni and Dhruva Maharaj, and how Narada Muni is telling Dhruva Maharaj that you are a small boy and this kind of austerities is not fitting for you. You should go back home, and later on we can discuss, and how Dhruva Maharaj very carefully and with a Kshatriya spirit and determination is responding to Narada Muni that no, I have a Kshatriya spirit and I am determined to achieve Krishna. So with this background, we will go deep into this verse. So this is very beautiful subject matter about the spirit and determination. And Prabhupada has very beautifully described how the society currently is handling and how we the devotees should behave. So my knowledge in this beautiful subject matter is very limited, but with all of your guidance and blessings and the mercy from Guru and Gauranga would glorify the subject matter for my own purification. So we see that the background is Dhruva Maharaj is planning to go to forest to do penance and meet Krishna. So why he is going? Because he is not able to tolerate his mother's harsh words. He wants to get better rewards than his forefathers. So we see here that Dhruva Maharaj has powerful Kshatriya spirit to fight with any type of austerity. He's just a 5-year-old boy. He's going to forest. In forest, there will be wild, deadly animals will be there. He won't have anything to eat over there. He'll be doing severe penances, like not eating anything, just inhaling the air. There won't be any cooked food, and there won't be any toys, any friends. So austerity is too high. But Dhruva Maharaj with a Kshatriya spirit wants to do that because he wants a better kingdom than his forefather. He is basically deeply hurt by his stepmother Sunita's words. So Narada Muni is explaining him, Dhruva, because Dhruva Maharaj is small boy, that he should not worry. This type of things happen. And it is difficult to do several, this kind of severe penances. And after doing penance also, you might not get also Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Dhruva Maharaj can go back home. Narada also took some sastric advances and evidences, and he like whatever Krishna has quoted in Bhagavad Gita, Narada Muni also quoting similar kind of things. That you must be tolerant and happy with whatever situation you are. You are a small boy, get older, get wise, and for these austerities. So Dhruva Maharaj also, replying that I am born as a Kshatriya son, and I cannot bear in my heart these kind of harsh words which I heard from my stepmother. I am basically determined to do something about it. My mother told that, I am not born from her womb, and neither I can sit on my father's throne, nor I can sit on my father's lap. So I must do something. I understand whatever you are saying and explaining to me, but I am not fit to execute those kind of instructions because I'm born as a Kshatriya and I am not that humble like a Brahmin. So I do not think that I can follow your instructions. So Dhruva Maharaj, we see he is very open about his feelings. Whatever he is feeling, there is no duality in his heart. Sometimes we see that people are very confused when this kind of situation happens, what to do, what not to do. And sometimes, like whatever in his mind they do. And sometimes, like it becomes his whatever reactions they have, sometimes it becomes very, sometimes it is, like out of, like dharmic boundary. Sometimes they go out of their boundary and come a boundary. But we must learn from Dhruva's example how he handled this kind of situation. And we see that here, Narada Muni also, after hearing Dhruva's, Dhruva's response, and he sees Dhruva's determinations, he becomes very compassionate also. Later on, we'll see. So, because he could see the genuine feeling of this little boy. This little boy is the son of a Kshatriya warrior king, and his father is Uttanapada. He's coming from the Brahma's dynasty. He's so powerful, but small boy, and he's very deeply hurt by his mother's words. He could see that this boy is a genuine boy, and he has a Kshatriya spirit. And later, he advised him that he saw that when he realized that this boy has determination and he can do it, he advised Dhruva that, okay, I am going to initiate it in this Om Namah Bhagavata Vasudeva mantra, that is the one of the main mantra. You chant that mantra constantly and definitely you are going to attain Supreme Personality Godhead. Then he explained him what is Sadhana Bhakti, and Dhruva Maharaj followed his spiritual master Narada Muni's instruction and he became successful. So from here, we can learn two things. Kshatriya spirit, one, and the other one is determination. So in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 18, we see about determination, Dridhavrata kind of thing, determination. Determination in Bhagavad Gita is described in three different ways of determinations are there. First is in the mode of tamas, then in the mode of rajas, then in mode of sattva. In three cases, there will be determination, like determination to do something negative, determination to achieve something, and then determination to do something good. And that is basically determination in the mode of goodness. So determination in mode of goodness basically is, is determination without any disturbances. So Dhruva's determination basically comes in the mode of goodness. So in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 18, verse number 33, Krishna says, O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness. So here we see that Dhruva Maharaj is determined to have darshan of Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead. So whatever the cause may be, he is determined that, yes, my mother has said that I should go to Krishna, I should see Krishna, and I should ask Krishna that whatever reward he is expecting, I am going to ask Krishna. So bottom line is what? I want to have darshan of Krishna. Everybody should have a determination that they should have darshan of Krishna. Like getting Krishna's association or Krishna's darshan and talking to Krishna, keeping Krishna in center is a right of everybody. There is no point of here, like he's a Kshatriya, he's a Brahmana, he's a Vaishya or Shudra. So Prabhupada always says that everybody should have that determination to achieve Krishna. That should be not like, I am born in America, I'm in India, I'm I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm a Shudra, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Vaishya, I'm a Kshatriya. Anybody can have that determination that I'm going to achieve Krishna. And we see in scripture also, if somebody has that kind of that kind of determination about getting Supreme Personality Godhead, he or she will get it. Whether he is born in a animal family, whether he's born in a woman's category, or whether he's born from a lower caste, or even any kind of lower lineage, everybody gets association of Krishna or Supreme Personality Godhead because Krishna is Bhakta Vatsal. He just sees the determination in the love. Another thing here we see here is the point here is discussed is harsh words. Harsh words that are hurting you are like the arrows from coming out of a bow. So there are two types of harsh words sometimes we see. The harsh words that are adharmic, or it is meant to hurt somebody. Like sometimes, you are deeply hurt and somebody will tell you something which is not helping you in anywhere, but you are deeply hurt. But sometimes, like there are harsh words which are better for you. Like a mother will tell some harsh words for the son or daughter that you are not studying and motivate by saying harsh words. And sometimes, like we see Prabhupada chastise some of the disciples with harsh words to make them more and better Krishna conscious person. So we must understand what is good for us. If we're hurt in the second category, like when it is, like somebody is making you more Krishna conscious and by saying harsh words, then it means, if you're getting hurt, that means your false ego has responded to that. Instead of you really yourself are responding to that, your false ego is responding to that. Sometimes like getting up early in the morning and doing seva or going to or like or reading Bhagavatam. We don't do that, and somebody chastises us. If that is for some senior compassionate devotee chastises us, that is for our betterment. If we take that in an offensive way, that means we are taking it in a wrongly. So our determination to achieve Krishna is always good, whether you are belong to any kind of varna. A Brahman basically who is chastised with harsh words, he should be tolerant and keep quiet. That is what Dhruva Maharaj is saying here. That I am not going to tolerate patiently because my Kshatriya spirit is coming in line. So that way, I must do something in this Kshatriya spirit to achieve Krishna. Similarly, in Brahmana spirit, one can be very humble, one can be very tolerant, and one, but simultaneously, he should be determined to maintain his Krishna conscious activities. Whatever situation we are, we should have determined that yes, our Krishna conscious activities will be maintained. We see here that in Prabhupada purport, even if Americans in those time, they were coming from different backgrounds. Like some, those days, they're called as happies. Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is not about Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas and Sudras. Anyone can achieve it. And Prabhupada made it true. All these happies, Prabhupada turned into wonderful Krishna conscious devotees, and they become very happy, basically. From the hippies, basically, Prabhupada turned them into the happies. So anyone can achieve. And second point here, Prabhupada in purport is saying that harsh words that are hurting you are like arrows coming out from a bow. So when a arrow is coming out of a bow and is hurting, basically it is doing a superficial in the skin, sometimes at the skin level cut. And with the ointment or some kind of doctor visit, it gets cured. But the sharp arrows which coming out from somebody's mouth, sometimes, they pierce deep into the heart. It affects so much that, after so many years passed by, but people don't forget those harsh words. They will remember. And it becomes, it becomes such a deep cut inside, deep in the heart, that however ointment you apply, however soothing words later you apply, after some time, it bounces back. This person told me that person told me that. People sometimes don't forget it. So in Srimad Bhagavatam in 11th canto, it says that sharp arrows which pierce one's chest and reach the heart do not cause as much suffering as the arrows of harsh insulting words that become lodged within the heart when spoken by uncivilized man. So here we see that Mother Suruchi, he is basically queen, and he's a mother. She's a mother. She should be compassionate towards Dhruva. Small boy coming to sit on father's lap, let him sit. It's a normal mother, like normal person will behave like that. But Suruchi used some kind of, harsh words. Like, like you are not coming out of my womb. You are not my son. You don't have any right to sit on your father's lap. Neither you have the right to sit on the throne. So basically, he is throwing Dhruva from all his rights. So those kind of harsh words basically pierce Dhruva's heart like these arrows coming out of a bow. So as a sadhaka, we should think that, like our words basically should not hurt or affect anybody's sentiments. And we should be very careful that like those arrows coming out of a bow and piercing somebody's heart, our words should not be, like piercing somebody's heart. We should be very, very careful about that. Mother Suruchi could have treated Dhruva like a son, but he became very envious and said her something which is very, very harsh. So we see here that Kshatriya spirit and determination in the mode of goodness. What is the determination here from Dhruva? That I want to occupy a kingdom greater than my forefather Brahma. I want to have a position more exalted than anyone who has achieved in the three worlds, even by my father and my great-grandfather. This is the spirit of Kshatriya. So in this line, wanted to discuss a wonderful story from Mahabharata pastime. In Mahabharata pastime, we see there was a war between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, and Krishna was in the side of the Pandavas. So Pandava's wife was Draupadi, and in the Kaurava side, there was a person called Jayadratha. Jayadratha basically was son-in-law from the Kaurava side. So Jayadatta had lusty desire towards Draupadi. Draupadi was very beautiful. Everybody wanted to have Draupadi as wife, but since Draupadi was Pandava's wife, everybody were respecting her. And they knew that Bhima and Arjuna were there, and they were very, very careful that if they have any kind of desire, they are going to meet death very soon. But Jayadratha, he was very, lusty, and side by side, he was a foolish person also. He knew that if he does, if he does something, if he has some kind of lusty desire towards Draupadi, Bhima and Arjuna are not going to spare him. But still, when Draupadi once was going to fetch water during the during the exile period, what he did, he kidnapped Draupadi. Then when Bhima and Arjuna heard about it, Bhima was very furious, and Arjuna put an arrow and it bound Jayadratha, and Bhima and Arjuna basically dragged him and bring to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj told that he was a noble king, and he saw that he is basically his brother, his cousin side sister's brother-in-law. So what he did is he told, okay, he's a culprit of Draupadi, and let Draupadi decide what kind of punishment will be given to Jayadratha. So Jayadratha was brought before Draupadi Maharani. Draupadi Maharani looked at her, and as Draupadi Maharani was very compassionate, and he was a true Vaishnavi also. So Draupadi Maharani looking at Jayadratha, and she told that okay, let her go, because he did not want her sister-in-law to be widow, and her Jayadratha's mother, she was a mother also, right? She wanted Jayadratha's mother should not be, bereft of deprived of her son. So he told, okay, let him go. So Bhima and Arjuna were very furious. How could Draupadi let this kind of person, go? This person is not allowed to live, and because he has insulted Draupadi, and we should not let him free. So what they thought, that let us insult Jayadratha in such a way that for a Kshatriya, basically insult is equal to death. So let's insult him by cutting all his hair and cutting all his beard and mustaches halfway here and there, and let him free. And so that they cut her hair from here and there, they cut his mustaches and beard here and there, and then let him go. So Jayadratha was burning in anger and furious. See, Jayadratha was also Kshatriya, but he did not realize that he is committing a mistake, and for that mistake he has been he penalized by the Pandavas. He took it to heart. Then again, later on, we see when the Mahabharata was going on, Abhimanyu was coming into fight, and he was basically fighting. And that particular day, Pandavas were five brothers were not nearby, and Arjuna was basically far away, and Abhimanyu was basically advised to break the Chakravyuha. And all these, Abhimanyu was also very wonderful warrior. He knew all kind of skills. But that day, all these heroes of Kaurava side, basically they did all kind of tactics and wrong techniques, and finally they killed Abhimanyu. So when Arjuna heard about this, and he was very, very angry, and he was very, very upset that his son, he was such a wonderful fighter, and he was killed brutally and mercilessly. And the main person behind that was Jayadratha. And then Arjuna took a vow that before next day evening, I must kill Jayadratha. He, as a Kshatriya, he did, this kind of strong vow. And this kind of vow, by taking this kind of vow, there are two things are also there. Or that we must see that whichever side Krishna is there, that side will definitely going to win. And Arjuna has tremendous faith on Krishna. He knew that in Bhagavad Gita it says that Krishna always takes care of his devotees' words. So he knew that since Krishna is inside, whatever severe penances or austerities he is going to do, he is going to win, because Krishna will never let him lose. Again, on top of that, he promised also that if he is not going to kill Jayadratha before next day evening, he is going to do Agni Snan. Basically, he is going to self-immolate himself. This is a kind of a deadly vow. So in Dhruva's example also, we see that he wants to do what he's supposed to do. He wants a better kingdom than his forefather. So that's why he decided to do severe penances. That's a Kshatriya spirit. And Arjuna's case, we see here that he is promising, and that I want to basically kill Jayadratha because he has killed my son brutally, mercilessly, by using wrong technique, not using Kshatriya spirit. He must be killed. And if I am not going to kill him before evening, I am going to die myself. This is basically Arjuna is basically announcing in front of everybody. So the next day, Kauravas basically, he decided that, okay, Arjuna has done this kind of promise, and we'll see how Arjuna is not going to kill Jayadratha. So basically that day in the war, Jayadratha was pretty far away. When Arjuna wants to reach Jayadratha to go in front of him to kill him, basically the commander that they have put millions of army between Arjuna and Jayadratha. So Arjuna saw that by the time he goes and kills everyone and reach Jayadratha, it's totally impossible. Half day gone. Some of the Arjuna has proceeded a little bit. Then day is slowly proceeding. It was looking impossible that day Arjuna is basically going to reach Jayadratha to kill him. So day is slowly going, and all of a sudden, evening came. When evening came, Arjuna was, sun is going to set, and everybody started, yes, war is going to end. Now done, Jayadratha is saved. Kaurav was very happy, and Arjuna was sad. Then Arjuna basically, he got down from his chariot, and the bow actually he decided, the arrow and bow basically he had to keep Jayadratha. He started to get that arrow and bow and try to invoke the fire god, and in that fire god he wanted to self-immolate himself. That time Jayadratha saw that yes, Arjuna is Jayadratha also knew that Arjuna is a true Kshatriya and he is going to keep his words. Like that time, Kshatriya words are very important. If a Kshatriya has given word, he must keep it. So Jayadratha was very happy and he wanted to see that, yes, I must see how Arjuna is going to kill himself. So he basically came out and stood in front of Arjuna. That minute, in that moment, immediately the sun god reappeared. And everybody realized that sun was not set. It was basically cloud which was covering sun. Then the same arrow which Arjuna has kept, in the same arrow basically, he shoot towards Jayadratha and Jayadratha was killed. So we must see from this example that all this whatever we saw, it was all orchestrated by Krishna only. Millions of army in between. How could Arjuna reach there? Sun is getting set and sun is coming. Everything, like Krishna has basically planned. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kuntiya pratijanati name bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, I declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Similarly, the same way, Dhruva was determined and he was also a wonderful devotee. His mother also was a devotee and asked to pray Krishna. So Krishna finally came to bless Dhruva Maharaj. And we see from the Prabhupada's examples also, Prabhupada also has a fighting Kshatriya spirit. So we should be determined in our effort to be Krishna consciousness always. So Prabhupada's life, we can take an example. 70-year-old man going to West in a cargo ship and making the whole world Krishna conscious. This determination is Kshatriya spirits. Srila Prabhupada often quoted, failure is the pillar of a success. He said that especially in spiritual life, failure is not a discouragement. We have to try hard and by Krishna's mercy, someday we'll be successful. So from Dhruva's life, we can take this inspiration that my mother told me, I cannot sit on my father's lap, neither I can sit on my father's throne. But I will do something. I will sit in a much higher throne by calling out to Krishna. So in material world also, we can follow the same thing. When Maya attacks us, we should perform double amount of service from Krishna. Maya will try to take us away from Krishna, but we should be conscious and we should put extra effort so that we will do double amount of service to Guru, Gauranga and Krishna. So this Kshatriya spirit and determination, we should implement in our Krishna consciousness activities also. Then definitely we're going to attain Krishna. With this, would like to end today's discussion. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jina Singha Jai
Sina Sina
Narasimha
Jana
Jai
Sina
Narasimha
Jana Sina
Prahlade
Prahladesh
Jaya
Jaya
Padma
Padma Mukha Padma Bringam.
Gurave
Gurave
Brahma
Jalatam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Brahmadvamadvam Namamya.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai,
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhasya
kalpatarubhasya
kripa
kripa
sindhubhya
sindhubheva cha patitanam
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavibhyo
namo namah.
Vaishnavinda ki jai,
Jai.
Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanand
Jai.
ki jai.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hari
Thank
Hari.
you, Prabhu.
Thank you everybody. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.